In the heart of a lush forest, a solitary crow named Kael lived a life filled with loneliness and sadness. His feathers were an inky black, and his caw was harsh and grating to the ears. None of the other animals liked Kael, and he felt their disdain keenly. One day, as Kael wandered through the forest, he stumbled upon a beautiful peacock feather, glimmering with vibrant hues of blue, green, and gold. An idea sparked in Kael's mind. He carefully tucked the peacock feather among his own and admired his new appearance in a nearby pond. He looked almost like a peacock. Kael, now feeling a surge of confidence, strutted back to the heart of the forest. The other animals were captivated by his new look. "Look at Kael," they exclaimed. "What beautiful feathers he has." The respect and admiration that Kael had longed for all his life were finally his. He was no longer the shunned crow, but a figure of beauty and grace. Days turned into weeks, and Kael basked in the newfound attention. He was invited to gatherings and assemblies where he had never been welcome before. The other animals listened to him, praised him, and treated him with kindness. For the first time in his life, Kael was truly happy. One day, during a grand assembly of all the forest animals, each creature was invited to share something about themselves. When it was Kael's turn, he hesitated but then began to speak, forgetting for a moment about his disguise. His voice, rough and croaky, filled the air. The other animals stared in surprise as the truth dawned upon them. Kael was not a peacock, he was a crow, pretending to be one. A hush fell over the assembly. Kael felt the weight of their gazes and the impending judgment. He hung his head, expecting the scorn to return. But instead, an elder deer stepped forward and spoke. "Kael, we were wrong to judge you by your appearance. Your courage and the way you have carried yourself speak volumes about your character. It doesn't matter whether you are a crow or a peacock, what matters is who you are inside." The other animals murmured in agreement. Kael looked up, his heart swelling with gratitude. From that day on, Kael no longer needed the peacock feather to feel accepted. The animals had learned to look beyond appearances, and Kael had found his place in the forest, respected and loved for who he truly was.